It is a world of darkness. The sin of Cain has spawned the cursed horror that stalks the night in search of living blood. The kindred have long been a secret influence through all ages of human history, plotting against each other in a never-ending jihad. Their immortal progeny are among us to this day, hidden from the eyes of humanity by an elaborate masquerade.
All right, and we are back. We are live, and we are mostly here video. We were able at the very last minute, apparently, to get Haley in audio. So I threw up a picture with the assumption that looked like that was happening. So cool. We're all here live. That's awesome. That's what's important. So and welcome, Davy Jones. Got our
Hey,
number one
Davey.
fan sitting out there in the audience. You'll have to tell us in the chat like how long you've been following. I know it's been a while. I was just telling them I think it was at least season 3 when you started following us, so that's been really cool. And he raised a question: what will happen this episode? And I thought this would be a good segue into the particulars of this particular game. So the way I usually frame it, or I had been framing, I should say, is like Ashland by Night is our Law and Order, complete with the gong, bong bong. That's our main branch. A lot of the big stuff, epic stuff, has been happening on that one. Not that epic stuff won't happen here, but Blood Ties is going to be more of our SVU. Equally as good, but just a slightly separate brand where you're probably going to see some different characters appear, as evidenced by Brittany rocking a different background and wig. So we're going to see some more of Trudy on occasion popping in. Obviously, there's going to be some other things in the background that the players don't tend to get to in the main game. So kind of like in between or downtime actions, as well as Haley. This is going to be her primary game with Trish. So it's going to have so basically the way to put it is she's kind of like our iced tea of the two, and when Trudy pops in, she'll probably be like our Stabler is probably Ben in this one. That'd be a good fit for him. Maybe she's Mariska Hargitay, in that sense, something. I'm not too sure, but the analogies are there.
Yeah.
So, getting into character, and it was funny because I made mention to this Brittany earlier on, I think last night, that I was like, I'm going to have to come up with more notes or whatnot for this game. And I thought about it, I was like, wait a minute, no, I've already got like so much going on that I just need to delineate some of it that I want to focus on in this game. So I was like, sweet, I didn't even have to hardly do any prep. So so perfect.
Nice.
I love it when a plan comes together.
Yeah.
So we're going to start this game off here tonight. It has been about a week since the events of our last game, or I should say, not a week, because I was thinking that was the big rumble in the forest. No, from the last game was when Henri got all the presents and freaked out, and Black Rock bad. So. So it's actually been 2 nights at this point from that game. So he has, so in his haste, because he said this in the chat, Henri is he's done with the Haven experiment. He's moved out of Lily's place, and he is looking for somewhere to lay in the sewer. So you guys haven't really seen much of Henri and Robert, his servant, in the past couple of days now, because that's what they're doing. He's been told that he needed to basically demo that room, give away the furniture or whatever, and get rid of the stuff. Damaris has taken the flesh scripture and is still deciding on what to do with it. And we can, of course, tackle that in game if we'd like a recap of that. I'm sure that'll pop up. And Lily has serendipitously taken the Black Rock Obsidian Mirror. So it now sits at Casa de Lily. Right now in her living room. Hasn't really figured out a spot for it.
It's in the chapel.
What's that?
It's in the chapel.
Yeah, okay, sure. But so we'll start with Trish at this point. You've actually been in town now a little over a week. And it's been difficult to get around without bumming rides from people because you don't have a vehicle right now. The other oddity about your life is you've, since becoming a vampire, one of the things being a vampire in the Camarilla has taught you is that it's all for one and all for you, for the most part. Clan does play a part in that occasionally, but it's pretty much been me, myself, and I the whole ride. You're the only person you can trust. You're the only person that is going to, feed you. You don't really have much of a network or whatnot. So living at this, well, for lack of a better term, a hostel, has been interesting. It's not a premium house, but it's not a bad house. It's definitely well kept. You have your own room, so it's not like you have to share bunks with anybody. The room that you're in looks like somebody had probably previously occupied it. So it doesn't really have like furnishings on the walls, but there were still like some nails and hooks and a lot of it. So whoever was in here was probably very decorative and thrifty, aka Damaris. With their decor. One of the first things you noticed is you got really accustomed to sleeping in your car and, the bucket seats or whatnot, or trying to lay back. Laying in a bed for the first time in months easily. The first night you were here, you accidentally overslept by like 3 hours. Like it was just completely unintentioned, even though you had a bit of paranoia about being around people you were, you don't know. You just totally overslept. And when you woke up, it's like you weren't stiff like you normally would from sleeping in a car. Even though the bed wasn't all that great, it was way better than the seating and cramped spaces of your vehicle. One of the other things that you started to grow accustomed to is there are several people in the house at any given time. From what you understand, there's only 2 other vampires. One you haven't met yet. He seems to have his own schedule. The other is Ben, who you did actually meet previously. So he obviously is up, during nighttime hours. But there's several other people here, and it's kind of hard to classify them. You have figured out that one of the other vampires that stays in this house has 3 servants. So there's always something going on around the house, either guarding or picking up or cleaning. It tends to be a little bit of a buzz of activity. The main one you've had contact with, his name is Jeeves. Apparently it's not his real name, but that just, as he explained, it was in his contract. So that's what he's going with.
Okay.
He is average looking in most every way, but very attentive. So he's very astute and watches for everything that goes on around the house, whether it needs to be cleaning or if somebody needs something. He's actually really good at the basics like that. Like he's always make sure that if you need something, something's there. Like even though he works specifically for Remus, he does tend to watch out for anybody else that's in the house. So it doesn't seem to be a big problem. He doesn't really care. He doesn't mind. He doesn't seem to be abused or unhappy with his situation. He actually seems pretty jazzed, if sometimes confused. The other 2, they are a little more security like. One, for the most part, is probably more of a techie that you see around, but usually is wearing, a nice polo or slacks of some kind, always looking at least business casual. The other is a woman. She dresses similarly as well. They are seen from time to time, but they tend to come and go more often. And when they are there, they seem to be more security. And from what you can tell, based upon their sleeping patterns, they're probably ghouls. So the place is very clearly competently guarded, which
Okay.
helps. Although you've never met Remus, you know at least okay. There's some people on looking out. The last one is a bit of an oddity. You've discovered his name is Jesse. Jesse keeps very odd hours. You have found out he doesn't need to sleep, which is weird. But he does occasionally because he gets bored. You're not sure if he's human or if he's a ghoul or what exactly he is. You have seen, however, on occasion, as he's been passing by, like maybe down a hallway or whatnot, he has stitches on him. Now the stitches are very competently done, and it's like kind of like the scars that old school stitches might kind of leave. Like he kind of has that look about him, like around his neckline, and sometimes you might see it like on his arm, or if he's scratching himself on his side. Like he has a lot of those. So it's hard to say like if he was, in a really bad car accident or if he's seen a lot of fighting or whatnot. Jesse is touched. And I say that in a very polite way. He's very cordial. He sometimes doesn't quite know personal boundaries, although he actively tries to learn it. Jesse is also he's very average looking but built. So he has that kind of not bodybuilder look, but more of a probably manual labor / trucker look. So, a bit bulky, but solid mass sort of thing. Not somewhere in between he's probably buff, but he's got some body fat on him too. Jesse.
So kind of like my husband.
I've never seen full pictures of your husband. I wouldn't want to compare him to Jesse. But if that's what's in your mind's eye, sure. We'll reevaluate that after the game to see if you want to go with that. But Jesse's big thing is comics. In a way, he seems to be a bit of a geek. He does have a little bit of a collection, not much, but a little bit of a collection in his room. Sometimes you can see him wearing comic-related T-shirts or whatnot. And you have, because he's actually very friendly, you have actually caught rides with him into town once or twice whenever you've needed in the interim. So you do kind of know the denizens of the house a little bit. So it's not like totally foreign, but it is definitely taking some getting used to. You haven't been around this many people in a small area since your recording days, like pulling all-nighters at the studio. So it's been a long time. The last oddity about the house, and it's something nobody really seems to have a clear understanding, and you've never really pressed it. You've only stumbled onto it because you've gone into the bathroom and you've done your makeup and hair and got ready for the night or whatnot. But you have discovered that for some odd reason, the house has a gold toilet.
Okay.
And it's just one of those things that stands out and kind of uncomfortably that you never quite ask anybody about. You're just like, you look at it, you see it, you acknowledge it, and then you're just hoping maybe somebody will just clue you in so you don't have to like ask, because it's a real odd thing to ask about, especially since you don't need to use it.
Yeah.
But we begin our game at this point. You are finally rising for the night. At this point, you're starting to get adjusted to your surroundings. You still don't have a car at this point. So life is kind of still up in the air for you. So what would you do first thing in your morning at this point, which would be the evening time? We're talking probably 8 o'clock.
Have we figured out the whole like blood situation where like I have a supplier now, or does that still need to be figured out?
Still up in the air. However, you have
Okay.
discovered that they do keep some blood on tap in the fridge, which that was an interesting
Oh.
find. Apparently, the fridge has a custom job. Normally, where you would have that spigot where you'd press the cup up against the fridge and water would pour down, it actually contains some blood and it keeps it refrigerated.
Okay, that's not slightly creepy and wonderful at the same time.
Exactly.
Yeah.
All right, so I'll probably want to get up, just kind of do my normal morning stretches that I haven't done in a very long time.
Okay.
Just to make sure that everything's still limber. It's more like an assessment from head to toe. When you're all alone, you've got to make sure you didn't accidentally hurt yourself in the night or whatever.
Sure.
And then probably just head down to the kitchen area and kind of keep an ear out who's awake and who's not, and get my morning drink and whatnot.
Okay. Sure. So you get up and probably dress just casually for the day or whatnot. And as you get out there, Jesse is actually at the dining room table right now, just thumbing through an Anita Blake graphic novel.
So I walk by, I'm just gonna nod at the novel itself and say, "How far are you in?"
I'm currently on the I think the third one.
So
I
she
still
hasn't
need to
gotten.
like order some of the other ones. I still kind of like the art. Ron Lim's kind of good, but he ain't no Brett Booth.
I understand. So she hasn't chosen between the two suitors yet.
And he kind of like thumbs through it real quick. He's like, no, I don't think so. No.
Yeah,
I kind of get distracted by the art, so I have to go back and reread it occasionally.
I understand. It's a very good series. I liked it a lot.
Yeah. I think I'm gonna pick up the Patricia Briggs. I think he did a Frankenstein or something that had some at least a Brett Booth cover. So I'm really intrigued.
That's another one that's really good. And Trisha, having read all of those books, is definitely like kind of she warms. It's heartening to hear someone enjoy the same things she does. So she's gonna kind of just leave it there. And she's like, when you pick those ones up, let me know, and if you'd like, I can read them to you while you look at the pictures.
Well, thank you very much. That's kind of a first. I think I need to get a tablet for that, so I could. So it's kind of like in-person audio, and I could just thumb through it. Or okay, yeah, I'll take you up on that.
All right. I'm just gonna grab my drink then and sit for a minute
Okay,
and
sure.
watch him as he reads his stuff. Because as someone who knows the story, she is quite intrigued on like where he is and like how far into the story he's at.
Okay. Yeah, and so Ben, at this point, you are rising for the evening. Your mind obviously running with your to-do list.
Yeah.
Despite everything that's happened, there's still some things that you want to look into, and that's been kind of like rolling around in the back of your mind, as you kind of noted in the chat.
Yeah.
So when you first get up, the first thing you hear is like, "Oh, Jesse looped somebody into a conversation again," because his voice is unmistakable in the house.
Right, of course. All right, yeah. So I head to where I hear Jesse, and I take it I find Jesse and Trish.
Yeah.
There, folks. How's it
Good
going?
morning. It's going.
Yeah. Oh boy, more Anita Blake, huh?
Yeah. I had to get this one off of eBay, though. Now, I hope you don't mind. I had delivery come to the house.
That's fine. It makes it seem normal. If we never had delivery, that'd probably be weird, right?
I hadn't thought about that, but I think you're kind of right. I'm just kind of used to us being on the move a lot and being at places where it wouldn't be proper to get delivery.
Yeah, yeah, it is different, isn't it? It's kind of nice. Yeah, city's growing on me.
How how long have you guys been here?
Oh, Jesse and me, well, gosh, I don't know, couple of months now, seems like. Yeah, kind of new additions here. Everyone else has been here for, well, not everyone else. Some, well, yeah, I'll just let them explain their thing. But yeah, have you decided if you're going to stay in town, or are you still on your way somewhere?
Well, considering I don't have a vehicle at the moment, that's kind of up in the air. For right now, I'm definitely here until I have a mode of transportation. That's for sure.
Got it. So,
I don't
how you
I
going to
don't
get
do
that?
the do you know anybody who wants a singer that doesn't do crazy Metallica type music?
Yeah, in the circles I run in, strangely, no. No, it's all metal, punk, heavy death stuff. Yeah. I don't try to do that, it just happens.
Well, it makes sense. Sounds like you're a little bit of a bar hop. They don't normally play my kind of music in a bar.
You just haven't been in the right bar.
You can find me a bar that plays like normal pop music.
Well, you might want to look for a.
Exactly.
Yeah, well, okay, not a bar, but a club. We got plenty of those here in Ashland. More like every month. They're just like weeds popping up in this place.
Uh, didn't you like hastily run out of one of those clubs? Was that because
Yeah,
of the
yeah,
music?
but yeah, that was neither here nor there. It wasn't the music thing. It was a magical person with holy blood or something.
Oh,
Wait, what?
so would we equate that to pop music is bad?
I don't think pop music can turn people's blood holy. I actually think the opposite normally happens, but
Yeah,
um that's quite a story. I have a feeling I'm going to need you to tell that to me at some point.
yeah. We'll see a real highlight of my unlife. Yeah. Well, what do you have on the docket for tonight?
Nothing really. I was wanting to see if I could find some type of, I don't know, interim job, like a swing shift type thing, just to get myself a little bit of financial assistance. But
Ben is an employer. You got jobs available, don't you? You do like the head hunting. You're like one of those Mandalorians, right?
Yeah, not exactly. Yeah, he's talking about me being the lead investigator at Pantheon Investigations. It's a private eye firm. Yeah, started up pretty
wait,
recently.
are you are you a bounty hunter?
No, private detective.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, haven't done any
Um,
bounty hunting in a long time, actually.
I
But
I'm gonna look at Jesse and kind of like lightly touch his shoulder to say, I don't really have any experience in that. Uh, Entertainment's more what I know how to do and how to hide. So I guess I do kind of have an experience in the other side of investigation is hiding from investigations. Now that's weird.
you
That
hide
right
from
there,
investigations.
that right there is, I think, what we would call a transferable skill set.
No, meaning I'm really good at hiding from people most of the time.
Gotcha. You have like powers that let you do that too, or that's just something you've learned to do?
The normal abilities that any of the kindred have, but I've just learned how to pay attention when people are looking, when they're not, how to bring attention to myself when needed and make it go away.
I mean, that's handy. But
It is.
yeah, I mean, if you're interested, I guess Jesse's trying to be your agent here. But yeah, I mean, if we have some sort of opening, although, yeah, I mean, it's going to be us looking for things. Which reminds me, I got to contact Knives and see if we can figure out anything about that Madame Rougeau case. Yeesh. It's been a while. Well, anyway, I gotta get going. You have a good night.
All right.
And
You too.
Ben heads into the kitchen to get one drink of blood, and then he sends a text to Knives saying, "You up?"
Okay, so Lily, you've actually been up for about an hour. You got up kind of early with the anticipation of the rock, just because you're a cult. The rock seems to be a cult, and you don't have a stick to poke it with, so you're going to analyze it. And the fact that, according to Henri, something in that area spoke to him in his mind has been intriguing. You don't know if you're probably going to need to follow up with Damaris to see if maybe there was something with that skin scripture or whatever it was. Maybe that had something to do with it, but just for analysis sake, But right as you get that text message, you get a little chime, on your phone letting you know that somebody sent something to you. You almost hear like a whispering in your mind. Inaudible in the sense that it doesn't seem to be forming any words.
Hello?
Do you say that out loud or in your mind?
Out loud.
Out loud, okay. Oh, so you hear, "Oh, good morning, dear. I see you're awake."
Hi, Mom. Yeah, I'm here.
Were you gonna go play with the kids today?
Um, I don't know yet. Did you hear anything?
No, other than Robert cleaning out the last of their stuff earlier on.
So you didn't hear anything like whispers?
No, should I? Did you invite a
No.
ghost back to the house?
I don't know. It'd be kind of intriguing, but I'm not sure.
Because we don't really have anything to, defend against that. That wouldn't be a good idea.
No. Speaking of switch, probably wouldn't be a bad idea to ask Colin if he knows how to do a ward until I learn one. Hold on, I gotta text this. I gotta text Ben back. So she texts, "Yeah, I'm here and I'm hearing things."
Ben replies, "Oh, great, another one.
Can you get
What
over
are you
here?
hearing?" Be there in a few.
Thumbs up.
So then, as you do that, Lily, you end up hearing.
Yes.
Do you say that out loud or in your head?
Out loud.
Okay. Why are you whispering? I can't really hear you.
Oh, I was just talking to myself.
Oh, okay. Well, keep that up, I guess.
Yeah.
And then you hear, "Commune with me."
Okay, she's gonna speak in her mind. Who is this?
A raspy, whispered voice simply tells you that it does not have a name. But at one time, its previous owner called it Kamale.
Are you in the rock?
What rock?
The mirror rock.
Ah, yes.
How'd you get in there?
It has been some time.
I knew it.
Hey, Vancouver by night.
So, what is it that you do?
It's a little bit of that. What do you think?
Well, I'm trying to figure out why this rock and what does it do? What do you do?
Stand before me. So,
Hey, Mom, if I suddenly disappear, let Ben know.
sure thing, dear. I don't have access to his phone number, so leave your phone open.
Okay. She's going to sit it down on the table.
Someplace obvious. Sure.
Yeah. She's going to cautiously stiff in front of the mirror.
Okay, so you go walking back, to the living room where you've got the mirror kind of set up right now.
Yeah.
It currently has like a throw cover over it right now, so you can't really see it. You'll have to take it off.
Okay. She's going to kind of pull it up and let it like drape over the side. So if she needs to, she can pull it back down real quick.
Okay. With the ambient light of the room that's kind of hitting it, you think you can make out what appears to be kind of like a smoky shape in the mirror. Like what should be a reflection is actually just kind of a smoky shape.
So what kind of things can you do?
I teach and instruct. And if you continue to commune with me, I will teach you. Just like I taught the other.
What did you teach him?
It's new knowledge, new power.
Ah. What kind of powers? You mean I gotta remove it all the way?
It's generally what that means.
Hold on
My
one
God.
second. She's gonna
All
go
of us
back.
are just like, what?
Yeah.
Don't
She's-
do it.
She's gonna text Ben. Hurry up!
Like, it's just a stone. What the heck? Jeez.
It's talking to me.
Uh-huh. Sure.
Just get over here.
Like, oh, sure, vampires are real, but stones talking to people. That's not a thing.
That's where we draw
Not
the line.
That's where we draw the line.
That's just too much at that point.
I know, exactly.
Yeah. Ben's still on his way, obviously.
Okay, sure.
So you go by Camille? Is that what you said? Camille. Okay.
Should just call him Camille just for fun. See if he curses you.
Oh, yeah, great. Well, we're just gonna have to hold off for just a moment. I really got to kind of get myself together. I'll get back to you.
Hold, please.
Yeah, exactly.
And she's gonna text Damaris.
Okay. Oh, okay. So
Yeah.
Damaris, you are rising for the evening in your brand new house. You've spent the past couple of days getting the decor just right. Still not quite there, but for the most part, you've got everything that you could possibly want in here. Your decorations look primo. You've even bought some LED lights for mood.
I have a blood fridge too, right?
You're going to have to actually put in a request
Hey.
with that, meaning
Okay.
you're going to need to talk to the other side of Remus to figure out how you got that done.
Yeah, I'm totally gonna do that.
Yeah.
Okay. I am up having my morning drink.
Okay.
Um, and I get the text. I'm looking over at the book and the pedestal
Mhm.
because she's probably down in her library, just kind of looking at the scan and the book. Um, and then she'll respond to the text. Yeah, what's up?
Um, is it possible that you could come over here? This mirror thing is talking to me.
Uh-oh, what is it saying?
It wants to show me new powers and new knowledge, and his
Don't
name is
do it.
his name is Camille. Kamal.
Kamal? Do I recognize that
Alexa,
name?
stop.
No, it's Camille and
Camille.
not offhand.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. I'll be there in a minute. Don't do whatever it's tempting you to do.
Okay, I'll just sit here and keep it covered.
My concern is that it's infernal. So sort.
Okay,
Okay.
hurry.
All right. I'll be there soon.
Okay. So you two are on the way. Trudy, you are already up. You actually got up a little bit early. It's been a couple days since your very successful barbecue, to which your staff is still kind of talking about it and picking over leftovers and whatnot. So that there was plenty made and still plenty left. You, however, are in another room where pads have been left down specifically for working out. There's obviously the staff use this during their downtime, like the recumbent bike that's in there. There's some free weights and whatnot. It's just an exercise room. But Agaya has actually been trying to show you how to fight, and she's teaching you how she's been taught. So it's good in the sense of you probably know what it's going to look like when you're fully trained, but picking it up first thing, yeah, you've taken some lumps. You've got some bruises on your hips, and she's been throwing you around kind of hard and
Good thing I got that adventure fortitude.
yes. Yeah, she's been unfortunately she's not a good teacher in that sense. But she's also been trying to take time to show you how to create the claws.
Hmm.
And try to figure that out. So if you have the XP to spend,
I think I do.
you'll need to.
Isn't that a level 2?
It is level 2, so you'll need to pick up level 1 first.
I'll have to do some math to figure out my XP
Okay.
because it's been a while since I've added onto Trudy's sheet.
Okay.
That's animalism, right?
No, that's Protean.
Oh, protean. Whoops. I always forget that because claw's animal.
Yep.
Yeah.
You would think so. I mean,
Okay. I'll have to do some math. So hopefully I won't have to try and use that tonight. Okay.
But that's what you're doing right now. You've kind of been working out with the Gaia. Normally, when this sort of thing would happen, she does something quote unquote wrong, she would be very apologetic looking. But when you're in this room and she's trying to teach you how to fight, it's actually difficult for her to look apologetic.
Yeah. Trudy understands the score. She's not gonna fuss about hard teachers.
Okay, you can take it.
She doesn't care to be coddled.
Oh, okay. Well, she would respond then in kind like that, and keep the intensity up to try and teach her now bestest friend how better to defend herself outside of staring at somebody and hissing, or doing a Jedi mind trick to get them to go away.
Is it brawling that we're trying to do?
Yeah.
Okay. I'll make a mark on that too.
And basically, with specifically, she's showing you dirty fighting.
Ooh.
Like
Trudy has 0 skill in brawl, so it's gonna be fun road.
Oh, okay, yeah. So good times.
Put all her points into firearms,
Right.
like a good Texan girl.
Yep. Gun racks and all. So outside of that is what you were doing currently. Seth came and knocked on the door frame of the gym when he sees, a Gaia looming over you, sort of thing, very predator like. And he's hesitant at first, but he realizes because of what's going on, he understands what it is she's doing, so he doesn't jump into action real quick. And he says, ma'am, if you have a moment, I don't mean to interrupt you while you are learning.
What is it, Mr. Cronin?
Did you want to speak in private, or did you want to speak here?
What's it regarding?
A potential out-of-town business?
I suppose we can take a break.
And so Agaya gets up and it helps you up. And she's like, she says, I would apologize if I'm hurting you, but I need to teach you how I was taught.
Understandable, Dumpling. Let's take 5 while I attend to this, and then we can get back to rolling.
Okay. She just looks around and she's like, I think I'm gonna go to my room for the time being.
All right.
Find me there. And she just goes skipping off. And so Seth takes you into the basically the ready room that you usually meet with the others. No one else is here. It's just him. And he says, so ma'am, I don't know if you have heard from Mr. Draybergen, but he has sent word through his people. I guess there have been some Sabbat moving around in the area again.
Oh. What all did he say about it?
Well, he spotted some coming up through Klamath Falls. He believes that they're on their way to Portland. So I don't know if they're, I don't know if they are refortifying or whatnot. I didn't get a whole lot, but he did mention that he saw movement.
Do we have numbers?
I didn't want to bring it up around Agaya, given the
sensitive topic and all.
Right. He said it looked like at least a whole pack of perhaps 5 to 7.
All right. Out from Klamath Falls. Do we have an ETA?
Well, we his people got it to us during the day today, so I would imagine they're probably in Portland now, if that's the direction they were going.
Well,
I
there.
don't know if you want Xandria to kind of inform the others as to what's going on. If you would like to do it, I mean, I think Mr. Benjamin is looking into something. She's his point of contact, but I believe he's looking into some things through Pantheon Investigations.
Right. Well, if they're headed in the direction of Portland, then that's not necessarily immediate danger to Ashland, unless they're fixing to come south.
We don't know, but he assumed he wanted to let us know, so I just wanted to let you know.
All right. Have her send the word out. It doesn't hurt to get some more eyes.
Okay, we'll do.
Was that all he said?
Yeah, yes, ma'am.
Okay. I guess I'll get back to work and let me know if there are any further developments.
Yes, ma'am. Right away.
So she'll go hit the mats.
Okay. So at that point, Damaris and Ben, you guys end up showing up at Lily's place. Now her mom answers just, she's like, "Oh, I see." She called the two of you. She's in the living room. Come on in.
Thank you. Head on in.
I really hope that when you knocked on that door, you asked if Lily could come out and play.
I think this is the first time I've ever been to Lily's place.
It is.
Yeah, it is.
And I think it's really weird that, well, I don't know it's her mom yet, so never mind. Could be just her ghoul.
It is her ghoul,
Yeah.
but
She
posing
just
as
calls
her
her.
mom
She just calls them mom and dad.
Yeah.
It's all part of
Oh,
the.
because she's very young looking.
gotcha. Okay, now makes sense.
Well, young adult, not young looking. Want to specify that she's not a child.
No.
Yeah, true.
Cool. So I'll follow Ben wherever it is we're going.
Yep. So you two go walking in. The house itself looks very Munsterish on the inside. Black and white TV, not the actual like coloring, because that was designed for black and white TV. If you went to the actual Munsters house, it was like pink and something, or just because that's how they needed it to show up for the cameras.
So weird.
Yeah, I know. It's just weird how they had the coloring back then. But so you get in there, she's kind of Lily's probably uncomfortably pacing. Lily's probably uncomfortably pacing in the living room right now with the tarp thrown over the mirror, the rock mirror, kind of standing up in the living room.
So I'm gonna look to Lily and just kind of ask. So its name is Kamal.
Yeah, that's what he told me.
And he said he'd show you some powers. Like, I don't understand what he was telling you.
Well, I'm not really too sure myself. He just said that he could show me the things that he showed the last person and provide me with new knowledges and new powers.
Hmm.
So the last person would have been the what we figured out was a Lasombra.
No, that would have been I think it was Nisi.
This is Mitzi.
Oh, Samisis. Yeah.
So the rock has a name and it wants to give you powers?
Yeah, that seems a little suspicious to me. Can I aura percept the rock and see if it's coming up anything?
They would see is the smoky figure still there?
Nope.
Okay.
You put the tarp back over it.
Okay, that's right.
Dice.
There is a like a shadow like figure in the mirror when I lifted it up for a peek.
Well,
Of course there is.
That's yeah. I was gonna say, of course there is.
I'm not crazy.
No, I actually believe you 100%. Sorry, Rachel's looking for her dice, and I don't
She's
know where
gonna
they're
poke Ben.
at. Oh, here they are.
Hey, I've literally talked to a ghost and had a conversation with one in a house. So I know pretty much everything's possible now if you just use magic, I guess. But, I mean, let's be real. I think we've all seen this horror flick. Don't talk to the voice who's pretending it's going to give you powers for free.
He talked to me first in my head. What was I supposed to do?
Well, I think he talked to Henry first, didn't he?
Yeah, if it's the same voice. Oh, it's not two of them, is there?
I don't know.
Can I do a aura percept on the stone to see
You
if...
sure can.
Okay, so it's perception and alertness.
Awareness.
Is he still whispering to me?
Awareness. Okay.
No, you don't hear anything.
Okay.
That is 1, 2, 3, 4.
Okay. It gives off a coldness of a radiance, because aura perception works very similar to a Carillion camera because it picks up on the auras. So it's colder than the room by a little bit, noticeable. You also can tell that it does have a bit of a magical aura about it. Outside of that, that's all you can pick up.
Well, it definitely is magical in some form. It has an aura of that, and it's pretty cold.
Yeah, that's why I was trying to tell you guys when it was back at Henry's. Or, sorry, Henry's.
Okay.
Yeah, but I mean,
And that's why I asked Colin to show up there because he deals with different kind of magics than I do.
Can I examine it? I don't know if we really thoroughly examined it when we were in the cave, but can I go ahead and take a moment or 10 to really examine the stone to see if I can find any symbols, anything unusual about it other than that it's a big
You actually
mirrors.
did that last game. There are no symbols or anything of that nature.
There's no symbols.
It's just been polished and refined down to an extent that it looks like it could be used as a rough mirror.
What he did tell me is that he is in the mirror, and I think the smoky. I asked. I was suspicious of that. When we were at his haven, that maybe there was something bound to the mirror.
Do you think it's the Tzimisce in the mirror, or is this something else?
No, because he said that he taught the one previous to me, and we already figured out that it was a Tzimisce that had been it because we found the dirt.
Right.
So,
who picked up the journals that were on the desk? I don't remember who picked them up.
I don't know.
So far, nobody.
I don't remember anyone taking them.
Well, we read through them. I just didn't know if it referenced this Camille person.
Do either of you know who that is? You two are the magic gurus here.
No,
There's
I've never heard.
in a book you can look up or something.
No, I don't know that name. I'm trying to
rack
my
either.
brain.
I mean, I could ask my sister. She's older and all this than me, but in my readings and stuff, I've never heard of it. I've never even heard of a talking rock. Do you want to see him?
Huh?
Yeah, sure.
See what?
Do you want to see him?
Let's look at the guy who's gonna possess one of us and.
You say that like it's not going to happen. Just wait.
I'm sure. And then he's gonna jump into one of our bodies, and then I'm gonna have to stake one of you because it's gonna choose one of you because you're the magical ones, or it's gonna come for me, and then you're gonna have to get. That'll be fun.
Well, good.
You're
Well,
gonna have to fight me. This will be great.
At least we have a plan then. Okay. So.
Well, how else are we going to really examine this if we don't take the cover off?
I mean, you're right. I just don't like this idea.
I
The
just
fact that we
didn't
know
want to
nothing,
do it.
we can't protect ourselves or anything with magic. I don't know how that works.
I don't know. I get the feeling this thing only likes to talk to somebody when they're alone.
I don't know. Let's find out. She's gonna rip the cover off.
Okay. And there it is. Just like you guys saw it back in the cave.
Kamal, are you there?
How do you spell his name, by the way?
Camael.
Kamal. Okay. Had it right. Almost at a K. Okay.
Camille.
All
right. And she's gonna call for him with her in her mind.
Yeah, you don't hear anything. No response. No change.
Of course. Now he's going to be quiet.
And then your mom comes around the corner. Would anybody like a glass of milk?
No, Mom. We're good.
Okay.
But I'll take some of the other stuff.
Okay, I'll be right back.
Thank you.
Strawberry milk coming up.
Ben looks to Lily after that and goes, She just keeps that act go even indoors. She keeps the act going. Really?
That's who she is. I mean, she's kind of one of the Leave It to Beaver Cleaver people. You've seen my dad.
Yeah.
I mean, he.
It doesn't creep you out.
No.
All right.
I chose him for a reason.
Yeah. But I mean, it's in. Never mind. Let's focus on the magical rock that's trying to possess and kill us all.
It amuses me. So.
Hey, Rocky. Hey, buddy. He goes up to the rock and he's like patting on it. He'll be like, Hey, Rocco. He'll like drum on it for a few seconds. Be like,
Sure.
Huzzah! You in there?
Nothing. Just it's cold to touch.
He's a shy rock. What can I say, folks? Strawberry milk, huh?
Yeah, let's try something. Why don't you and I go into the kitchen where Mom is making my drink, and leave Damaris here and see if he talks to Damaris?
Oh, there you go. Yeah.
Sure, I'll get possessed.
Yeah, we're gonna be gone for a long time. He's looking back towards the rock. Here we go. Boy, she's
out
gonna
of
be
spite.
all alone.
Out of spite, it's gonna get you. Watch.
Yep. It's gonna possess the smartass.
Okay, all right, guys. You go get your strawberry milk, and I'll see if I can have a word with this thing.
Okay. So as you guys are overtly playing into the horror movie, so Trish, back at Ye Old Haven, there is a knock at the door.
Yep.
And Jeeves goes walking up to the door and opens it up, and he looks really surprised. And there is an absolutely stunning woman standing at the doorway, picture perfect in almost every way. Long, kind of black hair, exudes the rock star lifestyle and look with like clothing. Like it's almost as if she stepped off stage, walked through a music video photo shoot, and then came to this door. And so he looks at her and he says, "Oh, I'm sorry, Remus and Ben aren't currently here. And you see like a well manicured hand kind of wave him off, and as she says, "Oh, no, 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 no. I'm here to see your guest." And he's like, huh? And so she just invites herself in. Give me do you have access to your character sheet?
I do not.
You do not. Okay. So what you're going to need to do, I'll let you know what you need to roll. Stuff got it pulled up here.
I'm like, I can roll the dice,
Yes,
though.
you can definitely roll the dice. Give me a perception and either investigation or performance check. Oh, you know what? Since you don't have your character sheet, your best chance for that is going to be perception of a 3 and performance of a 4. So roll 7 dice. Anything above a 7 is a success.
Okay. 3 successes.
Okay, not bad. So the person who just walked in the door, not that you have likely heard their music, being the good little Christian girl that you are. However, you do recognize them. Do recognize her from promotionals. This is Isadora, the lead singer of the vampire metal band Paladin.
All right.
And so she steps in, just like walks right past, and she's like looking around and then spots you, and she says, "And you must be the new person."
I guess I am. I know you by your photographs, but who are you? Why are you here?
And she looks at you, and she kind of tilts her head a second. She says, "You're supposed to be dead. So that's what happened to you. You joined the ranks of the undead."
Not by choice, but yes, I did. I'm still. Can we take this back just a tick? Because I'm slightly confused. Again, with the question, why are you here and why are you looking for me?
Well, I always meet all of the new roses, and I heard that there was one in town. However, I was unaware that the next Amy Grant was actually in our midst, or so the CCM article read. If I do remember my articles.
Yeah, you're not wrong. You apparently have a very long memory, though.
That tends to happen when you've lived as long as I have, dear.
True, I guess. Yes, hello, I am here. I don't know what else you want to know. She's very, very flustered with the force of personality that this individual has, but also just like she doesn't like being recognized ever because it's a bad thing to get recognized ever.
Right.
So it's very unsettling to have anyone recognize her, but then have someone that's coming in so jovially about it is very awkward.
Yeah, but no problem. And she says, "Well, if you would permit me, I would love to take you out on a night of the town, show you some of the sights of this town that you may not have actually seen."
Just kind of looking. There's nobody around to tell me no, and there's nobody around to tell me yes.
Yeah,
so,
Jesse waves at her, and she's just like, "Oh, hello, Jesse. Did Ben leave you behind again?" And he says, "Well, in fairness, Miss Isadora, I was heavy into my Anita Blake reading." And so she just goes, "Oh, well, that's quite all right. Would you be a dear and text him and let him know I'm here?" And he says, "Sure thing, ma'am."
Okay, so you want to take me out on the town to look at the town?
Show you some of the sites that you perhaps have not been to yet.
I guess that's fine. I don't have really anything else I'm doing right now.
Well, I'm surprised that the others haven't looped you into their little routine. They're usually doing something around the town.
Well, I'm kind of brand new, so there's no reason for them to have looped me into anything.
Oh, I see. Hmm. Well, that just
I
means there's more time to spend with your dear old Auntie Isadora.
Auntie Isadora. Look, I'm gonna be very upfront with you right now. Um, I've basically lived on my own and I've taken care of myself on my own for most of the time I have been a kindred.
Clearly.
So uh there's no auntie anything. And just because we are from the same clan does not mean that I immediately trust you. And nor should you trust me because you don't know me.
Oh, of course. It wasn't about trust, it was about building a relationship. And you're not going to do that sitting in this house, now are you? Jesse aside, of course. And he's like in the middle of texting, just kind of waves. He says, "Oh, no, no, I fully understand."
Well, all right. As long as you understand where I'm at the moment, that's fine. I can grab a jacket because it's proper to go out with a jacket on. And I will be right back.
Of
And she's gonna
course.
go back to her room. Does she have a jacket?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, yeah.
I was thinking she's got one.
You have some minimal clothing, but again, it's something that you've always traveled light. So if like something got
Yeah.
worn out, you would, buy a replacement, toss the other one, and just, keep it down to a suitcase, maybe half a suitcase, depending upon what else you had with you.
Yeah. Okay. All right. I'm gonna grab my jacket then and go back to join Isidore.
Okay. So she motions you, outside to her waiting car.
What kind of car is it?
The car itself is like a very sporty looking, modern Mustang. At this point, probably like 2000, somewhere between 2020 to 2022.
I'm just gonna give it a little bit of a nod. Like, it's not a bad build if you like Mustangs.
Oh, it's just one that I was taking out of the town for the time being. I have several.
Do
Just no
you
need to
have anything
flaunt it.
vintage?
What's that?
Do you have anything that's vintage?
Do I have anything that's vintage? I do. But perhaps now would be a good time to requisition something a little bit more avant-garde since you were inquiring. And she says, "Hold that thought." And she walks back inside.
Oh, geez. Okay. I feel like I just got somebody in trouble.
And so she comes walking back out with some keys.
Looking up and down the street, I don't see another vehicle, so Trish is very confused as to like where this other car is coming from.
So she walks you behind the house. It's actually kept out of eyesight because it stands out. Um,
Oh,
the
it's the orange sickle.
Yes. So she just walked in, asked for the keys, and they politely turned them over. It is what was the? It's in the chat. The vampire chat. Did I write? I know I named it. Shoot, hold on one second.
Bless you.
What did I do with that?
Did you pin it?
Maybe. Let me take a look. I think maybe I pinned it in Discord.
Oh.
There it is. It is the Golden Sahara 2.
Okay.
So this vehicle is way to put this. It has illuminated tires.
Maybe you can hold it up to the screen.
I don't know if I
Can you-
can. No, I'd have to turn my camera around. Let me see if I
Let me
can.
see if I can pull it up on my.
But yes, it is pinned in the Discord Ashland by Night chat.
Yeah, my Discord is not working because of the whole internet debacle. So.
Oh yeah, no, totally understandable.
I thought one of us could hold it. Or can you see the screen? At least.
Of Discord?
No. Can you see? Can you see the?
Can you see everybody in the chat right now?
Yeah, I can see all of you guys. Yeah.
Okay.
Oh dear Lord. Oh my God. Wow. Okay. Seeing that ostentatious thing roll around the side.
It's totally.
You're just a little bit like,
Yeah.
are you serious right now?
Of course. Oh, and in fact, I forgot about this. You are actually a Toreador. So, dun dun dun. You also need to make a self-control check. So roll 3 dice. It is a difficulty 8 or higher because the vehicle qualifies for what's called Crafts 5. Meaning, to Toreador, when something has a very high crafts rating, it's hard for them to resist staring at because it's just you are consumed by the art.
Okay, and it was a difficulty 8.
Difficulty 8.
That's a 0.
Okay. So in your mind, you were probably saying, "Are you serious?" Nothing really came out as you're just kind of staring and just lost in the absurd beauty of this thing.
Beauty's a word for it. Okay.
She takes a moment to rev the engine, and after a couple minutes, you find she's Toreador as well. She's fully aware of what it is that you're doing at this point.
What she's doing.
So she revs the engine a couple times, and by that moment, your mind is finally clearing. As you realize you were just kind of staring at this vehicle slack-jawed.
All right, coming over, I'll climb into the passenger seat and just be like, look, I don't want you to think this was an admission of acceptance, but yes, this is a very good choice.
And she says, just stick with me and you'll have nothing but the finest. And she slams down on the gas, spinning the tires, and dirt and everything kicking up off of the street, and pulls out. As she politely tunes into Rob Zombie's Dragula as they hit the road.
All right, being a good little southern bred girl is not going to say anything about it, but definitely a very large eye roll.
And so the two of you take off into the night from the house. Okay.
Bright orange car.
White, gold, and illuminated tires. Orange, yes. And yes, the tires are illuminated. That's one of the interesting features behind that thing. Okay, so
awesome.
Yeah, so back at the house. At this point, Damaris, you have been left in the room for a couple minutes.
What I'm gonna do, if there's a chair, is there a chair in here? Like
sure.
A desk or something?
Living room, yeah.
I'm gonna pull up a chair, and because the thing is off the mirror or the stone,
Mm-hmm.
I'm just gonna kind of sit there and just kind of look at it, I guess. And I'm gonna try calling its name in my head. Basically, Camille, what do you want? Sort of deal.
I have no response.
Well, I'm basically just gonna sit there.
Okay.
Because if it's not gonna talk to me willingly, then what am I gonna do?
So the other two, you have obviously gone off to the other room, where the kitchen's at. Her mom, it didn't technically make her strawberry milk. It was just a
Yeah.
glass of blood.
Right.
A euphemism.
Yep.
Yeah.
So she provided you with the glass, Lily. But other than that, you don't hear any sort of blood curdling sounds coming from the other room, or angry Damaris, or anything ominous. Oddly enough, there isn't even a soundtrack to your house right now.
You do believe me, right, Ben?
I mean, yeah. Again, I've had conversations. Well, one. Well, I've talked to ghosts. So, yeah, I believe you. It's just like, what do you do about that? I mean, you obviously don't give in. Unless he just happens to be a friendly, like, spirit in a strange stone that's been underground for, like, what, like hundreds, thousands of years or something? You know.
I should ask him how long he's been there. I
And,
mean,
like,
there's
what
got to
is
be
he?
a reason why he's talking to me. I
Yeah.
mean, he quoted verses out of the book of Enoch. Um, he didn't quote anything to me. He just said my name. And it's just like having a conversation, just like we are now.
Huh.
I am going to take a couple of pictures of the rock.
Sure.
When
Can we
I
go with the stone? Because I keep getting confused when you say the rock.
Stone, rock. It's an
It's-
obsidian slab.
I'm like, oh, he's here? Wait, what?
She'd be taking a lot more than pictures, since she definitely wouldn't be talking to him with her mind, if that was
That's
the
true.
case.
Right.
Yeah.
She wouldn't be talking.
I mean, I am curious about why he's there and what kind of knowledge that he's willing to share.
I mean, all the red flags, all of the alarm bells are going off. I mean, you get where I'm coming from on this, right?
I do. It's why I called you guys over here, because just in case something happens to me, I don't end up killing my parents.
So you want it to teach you, like, the evil,
I
probably blood
don't even know if it's
sacrifice magic.
evil. I don't even know how evil it is. I mean, people think the Tremere are evil just because the way that we became Tremere. So I mean, it's all
Says the
perception.
Tremere assassin. Just saying. Kind of a reason why they're.
Yeah. I am going to text Killian
Okay.
the two pictures that she took of the stone
Okay.
and the name. Is it okay? How do you pronounce it again? Is it Kamal, Kamel,
Camille.
Kamel?
I know. I
Yep.
get
Think,
keep
Camel.
getting it messed up.
just think male and put a "k" in front of it.
Camel.
Kamel. All right. And she's going to text the name Kamel? Question mark.
Okay. Well, I mean, you've text the information off to Killian. There's no response
Yeah,
right now.
I don't expect a response right away. That's
Yeah.
fine. So I'm going to get up to go after maybe like 10, 15 minutes.
Sure.
And just kind of go out to them wherever they are in the kitchen, I guess.
Do you think we should check on her?
Yeah, probably.
gonna put
Hasn't been any screaming or, like, weird eerie sounds. That's a good
No,
sign.
and
maybe.
he's not talking to me at the moment. She's gonna put her glass in the sink so she doesn't upset her ghoul, and she'll start walking out to meet Damaris,
Okay.
who's coming in.
As you guys are walking back from the kitchen, into the living room just to check on Damaris, Dale, you hear beep 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 beep.
That the heck. I'm assuming it's coming from my phone.
Yes.
Okay. Yeah, pull it out.
It's from the stone.
Good. It's gone technical.
Stone call.
I was totally about to say that same thing.
Yep. So as you pull up the message, basically you have a chime when it's in sleep mode to let you know, like, buzz, let you know something. So when you pull it up, it's a text message and you hear beefy, and it's from Jesse.
Yeah, it's Jesse.
Jesse saying, "Oh, hey, Isadora's here, and he is taking
She
Trish with her."
Huh.
And then another text comes in, beefy. Apparently Isadora took the creamsicle.
Oh, that's great.
Is everything okay?
Oh yeah, no, that's great. So Izzy is taking our new singer friend out on the town in the creamsicle.
Oh my gosh, I totally forgot about her with all this stuff going
Mm.
on.
She learned to feed from regular people yet?
No, not that I know of. Yeah, that's gonna take some doing to get her to be okay with that. But well, they're gonna have fun apparently in Remus's car. That's great. Wonder if I should. Nah, I won't. I'll just let him find that out.
Just let him figure it out. That'll be funny when we hear about it later.
Yeah. So, are you possessed?
No, honestly, nothing. I sat in front of it, tried to sort of meditate around it with it. Nothing.
You didn't say the magic words, did you?
What, please and thank you?
Exactly.
No. You're welcome to try though.
Yeah, why don't you sit in front of it, Ben? But give me your steak just in case.
Yeah. Okay, I can trust you. He hands it to you, and like as you go to like pull it, he kind of holds on to it for a few seconds. He's like, I'll let you have it. And he lets go. Like, okay, if I'm not back in 10 minutes, call the president. He goes ahead and heads off into the room.
Which one, Franklin or Roosevelt?
Yeah,
Ooh,
doesn't matter.
it's a low blow.
bad joke.
And we dealt with them anyway. So anyway, and he heads into the room.
Okay.
This is really frustrating.
I mean, I think it's clearly conscious of some sort, so I don't think it's a good idea for you to attune yourself to it because we don't know what it's capable of.
Well, I'm not too sure how to disconnect from him because he was talking to me.
Well, I mean, you were by yourself. There were no distractions. Like, I think us coming here and trying to talk to it isn't going to work. I think it's going to do it on its own terms.
Well, I think it should go down into my laboratory. I don't trust it with my ghouls.
Yeah, I wouldn't keep it up here. I would probably take it somewhere a bit safer.
Yeah, I'll take
For
it
the
down.
moment.
I'll take it down to my lab. They rarely go in there. And when I'm not here, it's locked. So
Well, that works.
maybe Ben can beef up and take it down.
Good transition.
So, as you guys are still investigating Black Rock Bad, Trudy, so you have at this point you are still working out in the in your gym and whatnot, and getting used to being thrown around and abused pretty regularly by Agea. When Xandria comes and knocks on the door frame, and she says, "Ma'am, we have a guest." And she has kind of a look on her face like it wasn't expected.
Someone we know?
Yes, in a manner of speaking, not well.
Who is it?
And she kind of like looks and she hesitates a second. She says, Mrs. Adora has pulled up with somebody new. Agea freaks out. And Agea starts. She does the like excited stomp in place with her hands like right in front of her, just like and squeals, and like completely forgets you're there and rushes to her room with something blurred in between celerity of like you think she said she has to go change, but it was like really quick.
She's not flying in the house, is she?
No, there's not enough room for her to fly in the house. But she blurred with celerity.
Well, show her in and offer her a drink, and I'll just go make myself more presentable.
She says, all right. Do we need to put the staff on high alert?
I don't think so.
Okay, noted, ma'am. So she goes walking off. So Trish, at this point, Isadora has brought you to a quaint little countryside ranch on the outskirts of Ashland. You don't really see a whole lot of animals here, just some horses that look to be probably asleep in one of the barns at this point. The ranch house, like many ranch houses, is not tall but wide and lengthwise. Really nice looking property, very well kept. She pulls up, in the vehicle at that point, and proceeded to march up front. And she says, "I figured it would probably be a good idea to let both Southerners meet one another. So I'm going to introduce you to somebody."
All right.
Besides,
Sounds good.
she owes me a little bit anyway, so it's quite all right. And when she knocked on the door, what's that?
Just kind of like carry on,
Yeah.
and she'll just kind of follow behind her.
Okay. So she walked up and knocked on the door, and a woman appeared. The woman who appears has the look of security. So she is got kind of like that Gina Carano build, like, definitely has some muscles to her, probably can handle herself in a fight, but well dressed, and does have an earpiece in her ear as well, almost kind of Secret Service looking, in a way.
Mm-hmm.
And Isadora, steps forward and she says, "Hello, Xandria. Introduce me to your leader." Just very very bluntly, and she motions you to follow. And she says, "Right this way, Miss Isadora. She is getting ready. She'll only be a moment or two." And as you go walking into the house, the inside of this house is country chic. So it's basically, Cabela's and Bass Pro kind of threw up in here. And it has like a lot of the really nice, properties that you might find, like antlers on the wall, and, very, very countrified looking place. Like you could probably pull this ranch and place it almost anywhere in the South and it would fit perfect.
So it's kind of decorated more like a hunting lodge than like Magnolia Gardens in Texas.
Yeah. A little bit more
Okay.
like that. But there are definitely some art pieces in here that look like that stand out because they're not the typical, store bought cheap frame, mass produced pictures. Like there are some pictures in here that look like they probably had a very limited or print run, or perhaps were only one of a kind sort of thing. So it doesn't have that cheap country aesthetic. It has, someone with money, clearly.
Mm-hmm.
And
Okay.
as the two of you come walking in, Isadora's just kind of, admiring and looking around. She's like, well, this isn't what I would go for, but I suppose it fits her. It has a sense that a rose did this, and she's kind of like looking around a second. And then there's a blur. And with that blur, there's a gust of wind. As somebody basically raced around the corner, and without even waiting to stop, like started speaking as soon as they got in the room. So their words were already like, like really rapid fire as they were coming out of celerity. What you make out, it sounded almost like, "Oh my God, you're at my house. I'm happy to see you," like all kind of meshed into one. As a woman standing there, she does have kind of mottled gray skin, so she very clearly, inhuman. She does have some horns that kind of come off of her head. She has somewhat monstrous looking hands and feet, in the sense that they could probably, be barbed and used as weapons. And she has wings that come off of her back, that she, of course, has pulled back. She's not like, expanding them all the way. She's about
Mm-hmm.
pushing 6 foot, so on the tallish side. And Isadora does not seem to be alarmed by her at all. You, however, have never seen anyone or anything like this before. Um, and she is clearly not hiding the
Mm-hmm.
fact of whatever it is, she is. And Isadora smiles and she says, "Oh, that's right. Hello, Agea. How are you doing?" And she's just like bright-eyed and excited, to see Isadora, and involuntarily gives her a hug, to which Isadora lets off with an oof, sound, as the hug clearly had some impact. And she says, "Oh, there." And she says, "I would like you to meet my new friend Trish. She's new to town." And she, like, turns and, and looks to you and looks at you, a second. She says, "Oh, hi."
Hi. Trish is gonna take a trying to be subtle step backwards.
Okay, well, and she sees that, she looks a little concerned, and she said, and Isadora looks to her and she says, "She probably hasn't seen a gargoyle before. It's okay. You did kind of rush into the room." And she says, "Oh, well, yeah, I didn't realize you were going to be here, and Trudy will be out in a moment." And she's just like, she's like, it's quite all
Okay.
right. She says, "How are your studies going?" And so at that point, she, like, brightens up and she says, "Trudy's doing great. I got to throw around a lot today." And she was like, "Wait, what?" Isadora was kind of taken back by that one. And she says, "Oh, you mean our studies about Cain?" She says, "Yes, but I would like to know about the other one too." And at that point, Trudy, you come walking out around the corner. Why don't you explain how you're dressed?
Okay, so Trudy is all of 5'2". Um, she seems very put together. Very blonde hair pulled back in a bun. She wears tweed Chanel skirt suits, and pearls with cowboy boots.
Wow. Okay.
She'll walk in and walk right up to Isadora and I guess kiss her on the cheeks, because that's what Isadora expects.
Sure.
Um,
And she politely returns the kiss, and she says, Trish, this is Trudy, likely from your neck of the woods. Trudy, this is Trish. She is apparently new in town. She is a resident songbird of sorts.
oh, is that right? Well, uh, pleasure to meet you, Trish. I'm Trudy Maxwell. This is my home.
Thank you. Thank you for coming in or letting us come over unannounced. She's going to give a sidelong look at Isadora. But
Isadora
yes,
just
my
waves
name.
it off. It's common. She's unannounced at almost everything she does.
Yeah. But your home is absolutely lovely. It definitely is a reminder of being back in the saddle, as it were, in Texas.
I had to bring a little piece of it with me. Um, my dear friend Lettice actually did the work for me. I have no eye for design.
Hmm. Well, it's lovely. Did you hunt any of these on yourself? Looking
Oh,
at the
heavens no.
horns and stuff. No. Oh well.
I'm more of the type to hunt spreadsheets.
I can say honestly that I have not kept up with technology the way that many other have.
Oh, technology, nothing. No, I have people for that. I just meant, you know.
Yeah.
Uh, can I get you
Uh, sure.
anything in particular?
Whatever you have is fine. I don't need anything in particular.
Um, if Xandria is around or one of the others, um, I'll give him a nod.
Of course. Yeah. So they go walking off to go get the thing. And so Isadora says, so I guess you're being thrown around by Agea?
Yes. She has taken it upon herself to introduce me to the finer points of brawling, seeing as uh, I am woefully underprepared in the fighting arts.
I see. And Agea is just kind of smiling brightly behind you.
She is a very thorough teacher.
I would imagine she is. And at this point, like Agea, you can feel a tugging on your blouse from behind you.
I will look behind me.
Okay, so Agea leans in real quick and she says, could you ask Isadora if I could get her autograph? Please.
Ms. Isadora, would you be so kind to autograph some of Agea's things?
She's, oh, of course, of course. And so Agea kind of squeals again and claps a little bit, and she turns around and exposes her back. And she said, and Isadora's like, "Oh, I see that kind of autograph,
Oh,
of course." And she says, "Do you have something to hold on to, Agea?" She says,
Trudy is a little bit confused.
"Yeah." She waved that off. She kind of like looked back to Isadora and she says, "Oh, come on, I former Sabat, I can take this." And she says, "Okay, very well." And so Isadora, takes her finger like one might take a finger and sign something digitally. Starts, you know, basically making her mark on the flesh of Agea, basically signing her name in her flesh with her finger.
Trish kind of makes a slightly involuntary noise at that.
Well, that's a new one.
Yeah, and Isadora just kind of like waves it off, and she says, "Look, it's only for the hardcore fans. I get that every so often with K Knights who ask."
Hmm.
And Agea is kind of like, gritting her teeth, when it happens. It's clearly hurting, but For her, it's a good pain. Like
Uh,
somebody getting a tattoo.
Quite a memento.
And so she, like leans back up and pulls her shirt back down and and whatnot. And she's still kind of moving a little bit because it's tender again, in a sense, very similar to like a tattoo, but you could see the mark. It didn't draw blood or anything. It's almost as if her finger manipulated the flesh forcibly to leave her mark. And at that point, Agaya's like, "Oh, thank you, Isadora," and she goes running back off real quick to go admire it in the mirror.
If I may be so bold, is that a skill that you've had for some time?
It is, yes.
And very unusual.
Why would you say that?
Well, I just mean, I suppose you run with a great variety of folks.
That is a good way of putting it. There are some roses on the other side of the political aisle that specialize in this sort of thing.
Hmm.
I may have picked up a trick or two.
I
Or
could
three.
see how that might be a useful skill for your clan.
It does lend itself to art. And she looks over at Trish, who's kind of like, trying to hide
She's
the faces and whatnot she's making.
She's horrified
Yeah.
right now. Completely horrified.
And she says, although admittedly it's not for everyone.
Do people ask you for that often?
Only vampires, dear.
So was that a yes or a no? People ask for that often.
Well, vampires are generally considered immortal. So I don't have many repeat customers, if that's what you're asking. Once they get it, it's there.
Okay. That's a choice.
It
So
is. I find the Sabat tend to like it more, obviously, than the Camarilla. We're not quite as popular with that crowd for obvious reasons. Masquerade being what it is. And she kind of smiles.
At the word Sabat, you guys can see that Trisha's face just kind of like goes like completely blank.
Yeah, and Trudy kind of swallows.
Be right back. Sorry.
No problem.
So, have you been in town long, Miss Trish?
No, just a handful of days, really. I was kind of on my way from here to there and had a little bit of a problem with some hunters.
Hmm.
And my car was trashed, and I had a few people step in and help a little bit, and now I'm just kind of here. I'm staying at, I believe, Haven, Ben's residence. The one I remember the most is Ben. He's been kind of what?
Mr. Baxter?
Yeah, yes, that one.
He's a
Sure.
good sort.
He is.
One of those who stepped in.
Yes. I'll be completely honest. I've not been very good at keeping track of names because I've spent such a long period of time away from others. I never really made it a point to remember anybody's names.
Well, I understand how that life goes. It can be quite difficult to be on one's own for a prolonged period of time.
Well, I mean, it's a way of living that keeps you alive most of the time, or unalive. Sorry, I apologize. I have a tendency to stick a foot in my mouth on the regular.
That's quite all right. We don't stand on ceremony here.
So Isadora says, I was taking Trish out for a night of the town, and I assumed you might want to come with. The next stop we were going to go was your boyfriend's club.
Oh, well, that's always a view to remember. Should we bring Agea?
I'm certain she would like to go. I don't have. I'm not opposed.
Wait, did she leave the room or not? Is
Oh,
she
yeah.
still here?
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Agea went to go admire her new
Oh, that's right.
marking in a mirror.
That's right. Well, I'll just let her know, and we can hit the road.
Okay. Then I
So-
suppose we will wait right here.
I will go tell Agea, and then I will also find Seth or Xandria and let them know what the plan is.
Okay. So when you let Agea know, Agea turns to you and she says, "But that's the place I had my accident."
Oh, it's all done, sweetie. We don't have to worry about that one. Mountain people fixed it up.
Are you sure? I don't care, but I know that, you guys have the masquerade and whatnot.
You think people are gonna recognize you?
I could make myself look different. I just don't want to make it difficult for you.
I think it's fine.
You sure?
It's up to you. If you would like to come, or I'm not concerned about.
We're going with Isadora?
Mhm.
Duh.
All right, then.
Let me get changed.
All right.
So she goes,
And-
running back to her room to start. You hear like drawers getting thrown open real quick to like look for something rapidly.
I suppose. Wait, how is Isadora dressed? Rockstar style,
Oh,
you
yeah.
said.
Mm-hmm.
You know what? I think I'll just stay wearing what I am. Just my
Okay.
business dress. It's not like the first time that I've been there wearing this sort of thing.
True. Okay.
Sure, it sticks out, but who's she there to impress?
Fair enough. Okay. So as the two of you are waiting, eventually Trudy comes walking back out, and Agea comes walking back, although not looking a thing like the gargoyle she was. She just looks like a young woman who is roughly the same height and whatnot, who was probably a Billy Idol stand-in.
Just Trish is gonna kind of look. She has like this slightly shocked look on her face and be like, "Wait, you're the same person, right?
She kind of
Or-
looks around. She says,
Individual."
yeah?
We-
I don't exactly understand the question. What do you mean?
Well, Isadora was very right. What she said earlier, I've never met a gargoyle before, and I did not know that you could just change the way that you look like that.
Oh, you haven't heard of Obfuscate?
Not like that. Wow. It's it's impressive.
It's a fairly common ability, in point of fact.
Well, it's maybe very common, but it's impressive. That's all I wanted to say is it's quite impressive.
Oh.
You do not look anything like you did before.
Okay, so she looks around real quick and she says, cool. Let's go. I'm ready to rock. And
Okay.
so at that point, Seth is going to drive you to the club. Agea has specifically asked to go with Isadora and asks, of course, Trudy if it's okay.
Of course, Dumpling.
And she
If
goes,
she'll have you, you're welcome to go.
and she says, "You are welcome to come." She says, "You'll have to be in the back seat." And she says, so she, takes a running jump at the car and jumps into the back seat sort of thing, and everybody peels off to go to Club Drachenflugel, or the Drachenflugel. All right, back at Casa de Lily. So Ben, nada.
Hey there, Stony. How's it going, buddy? High fives to Stone. Yeah. Just me, pal.
Yep. Nothing.
Yeah. So you like being a stone? Long time being a stone. You're a boring stone, and that's saying something because you're a stone. He like turns around, his back is facing it, and he kind of looks over his shoulder sometimes. No,
Yeah.
nothing?
Nothing. No change. You even try to do that, but look at a reflection of you off of something else to try to look at it all sneaky, and nothing.
Yeah.
No change.
All right. So he'll just hang out there for just like 1 minute because he's not willing to wait like a super long time. So
Sure.
he's like there for 1 minute,
The
nothing
Robot's
happens.
impatient?
I know, right?
I know, right?
Yes.
Just as like, all right, I can't take it, Stony. You had your chance. You had big beefy Ben, but no, you couldn't do it. You couldn't do it. Shame on you. Oh well. Hey ladies, yeah, nothing's going.
No surprise. I mean, I believe it happened to you because it also happened to Henri. So I guess if it talks to you again, don't. I don't know. Just don't. I mean, it's just incredibly dangerous to.
What do you think it is?
I have no idea. I have never encountered anything like this before, so I'm gonna do some research. My first thought is that it has some sort of spirit potentially bound to it. It is a magical item of sorts, but I really don't know.
Okay.
I just don't think that you should take up whatever offer it's giving you until we figure out more. Because you have to understand this was something that was with, someone was very old for a while, and maybe they went crazy because of this thing. I don't know.
I suppose I could just question it and just get as much information from it as I can without agreeing to anything.
So you
I
get
mean,
a text
if it-
message back, Rachel.
Oh, what does
So
it say?
text message says, "Why aren't you using your book?"
Haven't had a chance to go through it yet. Are they linked then?
So then you get a text back. The book is for research.
Oh,
So
okay.
and there's an emoji with basically it face palming.
I hadn't had a chance to check it out yet. They've been busy, okay? All right. So she'll just kind of mad fast type. I didn't know. And then she'll just hang up. And so I turns back to Lily. I mean, at the moment, I mean, you can ask it questions and stuff, but I just don't agree to anything. I don't know.
Can do.
Let me do some research and I'll let you know what I find, if anything.
That's why I called you over.
Okay.
Should we go relieve Ben of his boredom?
Yeah. I hear him yelling that nothing's happening.
Yeah, I guess it just chose me.
Yeah. Just be careful.
Yeah, I mean, I enjoy creepy things, but this is really kind of creepy.
Do you want to keep it here or do you want to move it? I mean,
Well, I was going to put it down at the club, but I don't think I'm going to do that
No.
now. I think it's going to be locked up in my laboratory. I think that's the safest place for it right now.
I think until we figure it out, you shouldn't be putting this in a public space.
No. No. I wasn't expecting it to talk to me.
I don't know. All right, so we're heading down back the hallway to the
Yeah.
room.
No
Yeah.
problem.
Well, no possession, right?
She's going to hand him back his steak. Glad I
Woo!
didn't have to use this.
No, it's just me. Yeah, if I take the steak back and puts it back in his jacket.
You guys come walking back in the room, and he's wearing a Jason mask.
I
Right.
knew it.
Here we go again.
I can put it on. It's right here.
So, Ben, do you think you could move this?
I guess. Yeah. Where are you putting it?
I'm going to put it down in my laboratory where I can keep it locked up.
Smart move. Yeah. Just lead the way. So Ben works on getting a handle on the rock to pick it up to carry it,
Oh.
whatever.
If it's awkward, I'll help. But
Yeah. So she's going to lead
How
him.
much potence do you have?
Strength of 3, potence of 3.
Oh, yeah,
Nice.
no problem. Yeah,
yeah,
you
you
got
don't
it.
need my
Yeah.
help.
So you guys are going to go down some stairs to a fireproof door, and when she opens it up, you guys are going to just see what looks like a normal Tremere laboratory.
I don't know what those look like, but I'll take your word for it.
Hey, you are a lot more organized than Scarlet. I'm gonna tell you that. Although she's the only other Tremere I've hung out with, so yeah, not bad. Nice digs.
Thanks. Until I blew up something.
Yeah. No more blowing up. We've done enough of that in this town.
This is
Yeah,
true.
we have.
He sets the stone down against a wall. It seems
Yep.
like it's empty. All right, Stony. You be good now.
Okay, and then she's going to lead him back out, and she'll lock the door.
Okay. Now,
Okay, so now it's on the docket.
Well, now that Stony and I have had a long talk, we've decided.
Just be friends.
Yeah. No.
Silence to me.
Really, I've got to actually get in contact with Xandria. We haven't heard anything back from her regarding the Madame Rougeau case. That's just been on hold because we've been waiting to see if she knows anything else about that dude in the picture. Nobody else in town knows anything about him. She said she'd get back, but haven't heard anything.
Yeah, and I was going to ask you about Eric, if you heard anything more on his condition.
Not yet, but I mean, he was with that Sabat for months, if not a full year. So that's
Yeah.
gonna take some doing to deprogram.
I'm glad
I'm
we
just
have the
gonna
doc.
And the Giovanni, I guess.
Yeah.
Who knows they'd be that helpful. Although we're gonna keep owing them favor after favor, which isn't great. But gotta do what you gotta do.
Yeah. We need a Giovanni on our team.
We just need to not need the Giovanni.
Well, one of us learns how to do what they do. We wouldn't have to keep going to them.
Yeah.
So I'm
You
going
should
to
get
do
on
some
that.
research.
She looks at Demiris.
I'm going to go do some research.
That's right. You do that research.
hmm Yeah, my research has been very helpful. Thank you very much.
Yes, it has.
All right, fine. Just don't set anything else on fire, like
I
mountainsides.
haven't in a while.
It's true. It's true. All right.
I've learned more control, thank you.
So how's your new guest?
Oh, Trish.
Yeah.
That mentions she is going to leave the house.
Okay.
Yeah, she's been keeping to herself. But yeah, apparently she's on a night with the town with I'm assuming she's she's Toreador. Yeah, they get thick as thieves. And Isadora, she's like I don't know. She's the
She's
what do you call it?
pretty
The
rad.
cheerleader for him.
Yeah. Have
She's
you
all
ever
about the
seen her?
plan.
Have you ever seen them perform?
Not live, but I've seen like videos online.
Oh, Ben
Yeah.
did.
And
Remember in your background?
that's true. Was that at a performance or
Yes,
were we
it was.
just? Oh, it was. Okay. So
Backtrack.
there was this one time when the Prince of New Orleans told me and my sire and a few others to go murder them while they were performing. That was a thing.
Oh, what?
Yeah, that was the night I was embraced. Wow. Yeah.
You got
Great
embraced right before you were sent to kill Isadora,
Yeah.
and you're still alive?
Yeah. My sire, he knew what he was doing, man. He knew what he was doing.
Well, I'm glad you
And he,
guys didn't succeed because they're a rad band. I really wish I could have got them for my opening.
yeah. Yeah. Well, you're trying to get Rob Zombie to do
Mhm.
that too?
Mhm. I just thought it would also be fun to have a local.
Sure. Makes sense.
I mean,
How are you getting
that's
the money to get the club set up and all that?
oh, I have my ways. I have a trust fund.
Nice.
It's called my parents.
Oh. Okay. So you just pull from like the money that they have?
Yeah,
Oh. Okay.
I'm given a I guess what you could call an allowance when I want it.
You live a weird life, Knives. I'm just gonna. It's weird.
I'm a weird
You.
person.
Yeah. That's okay. That's all we are here in the free city of Ashland. It's just a bunch of weirdos.
Well, Mr. Beefy, let's go do some work.
Right, right. Should swing by the office, see if there's anything else. Talk to Jay, see if we got anything from Zandria.
Okay. So
You ready?
Okay.
hold that
Yep.
thought as you guys are traveling to the office.
Yep.
So you have made it back to your new haven, Damaris.
Mhm.
Didn't take terribly long. It's nice and quiet. There's nobody waiting for you.
Peace.
You don't live with any ghouls.
Cool. So I am going to go down to my library
Mhm.
and go to the book that she hopes Killian sent her.
Okay. Well, it's in the glass case, so I take it you take it out of the glass case.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, take it out of the case.
So as you open it up, you hear audibly, "Who goes?"
I'm gonna look around for a moment, and then I realize then it comes from the book.
Mhm.
Damaris.
Ah, yes, Damaris. What do you want?
I need to look up some stuff about an obsidian slab with a mirror-like finish that may be holding something, or I don't know. That's why I need to look into it.
That sounds excellent. I require a name. A fitting name.
Okay.
Not such as Bob or Paul or any sort of ridiculous mundane name. I do not remember mine.
Hmm. Um,
For I am old.
I don't know. I don't know. Rachel's trying to think of a name. Um, I don't know. I don't know. That on the spot name. I don't know.
You might want to hit a name generator then and try to come up with something.
Yeah. You know what? We'll go with Talus. Talis.
Talus?
Talus. Talis.
Talus, okay. Talus. I suppose that will do. It is unique enough. So the little latch on the binding opens up.
Thank you. And she'll open it up and hope to find what she's looking for. I don't know if there's an index or
No,
any
they're actually
chapter listing.
there is no index outside of there is an earmarking behind it, one that denotes lore of the Sabbat, and the rest of it just looks like pages upon pages of the occult.
Okay.
So
Well,
here is how the book works, and it's a thick book, outside of course the fact that it has some sort of sentience as well. You can make an occult roll, and
Okay.
with it, but it will allow you to re-roll an occult lore. If
Okay.
only if you're using it for the book for research purposes only.
Well, yeah. Is there other uses for it?
It depends. Do you want to find out about the Leannan lore? That's all in there too.
Oh yeah, absolutely. She'll look at the Leanna lore, but right now she's looking up the obsidian slab first,
Sure.
and possibly the name Camille
Sure.
as well. All right. So I'm rolling occult.
Occult.
Just occult straight up, or
Nope.
anything else?
Intelligence and occult. You're going to need to
Intelligence,
roll
okay.
a 8 or higher.
Okay. I've got 10 dice to roll. Oh, 8 or higher. 1, 2, 3.
Okay. Now roll again.
Same difficulty.
Yep.
Damn, which 7's counted? 1, 2, 3, 4.
Okay, so you have 4 successes.
Yes. On
Okay,
that one.
so as you are kind of thumbing through the pages and whatnot, it says aloud, Camille, God has warmed. Camille is the archangel of strength, courage, and war in Jewish and Christian and theology.
Okay, sorry. Rachel's writing down. So Camille is the archangel of war. You
Strength,
said
courage,
strength.
and war.
Strength.
Camille means God has warmed.
Courage. Strength. I'm sorry. Strength, courage, and what?
War.
And war. Right. Camille means.
It is an angelic name.
Okay. And I'm sorry. The name. Rachel's like trying to catch up. Camille means what again? I'm sorry.
God has warmed.
Oh, God has warmed.
Yep. As in made warm. Opposite of cold.
Okay. And anything referencing Camille in conjunction with
Nope.
a slab or stone?
Nope, nothing like that. It answered your name for the what the name meant.
Okay.
It also, when you do your research, it postulates that slabs such of that nature, like obsidian in general, is sometimes used in necromantic rituals to cross over.
Oh. Okay. So if it doesn't work for crossing over, does that mean that that person might get stuck in it?
You would need you have a basic occult of
Mhm.
what it might be used for. You would need somebody skilled in necromancy to be able to answer something like that.
Okay. Um, I guess I mean that's all I know to research for now.
Sure. So there you go. You've got that.
Okay.
So those of you at Club Drachenflugel, there is a heavy dance beat coming from this club. It resembles on the outside something of a Gothic cathedral with actual gargoyles, attached to the sides, made of stone. Not the vampiric one you're currently traveling with. There, of course, is a line outside of people waiting to get in. As you come walking, you up to the front, you're immediately waved in, like without hesitation. And as you're walking along, alongside the crowd of people trying to get in, everybody's freaking out because Isidore is, walking up to the club.
Hmm.
Having been here before, I will lead them up to the table that we customarily sit at.
Okay. So as you come, walking in to do that at that point, what are the one of the staff at the club at this point wades through the crowd and clears the table out, for people who are sitting there. And they're like, looking kind of dejected, and as they see, some people come walking through, they're like, oh, okay, there's, quickly like walking off, sort of thing. Clearly more VIP than they are. There's VIP and then VVIP. But the place in the inside is packed. There are people all over the place. The inside of it is set up like a cross, with the initial row when you first enter in. There's a bar pretty much on either side. In the center, the T intersection basically is this big open dance floor where people can come out and dance. To either side of the wings, where the booths and tables sit. At the front, which would basically be the top of the cross, is a stage where DJs or live acts or whatnot will actually perform from. Right now, they've just got house music currently thumping. But heads are immediately turning when you guys come in there because you're with Isadora. The
Okay.
the dance music in here, the theme to it is very um industrial electronica sort of sound, thumping, through the speakers right now. There is lighting, but the walls tend to kind of have like a reddish glow to them from backlighting. So it definitely they're definitely playing up on the eerie look of it all. And she looks around real quick, and Isadora motions a server over, and she says, menus for the allergen free menu, please. And they're like,
Allergen free.
and he goes running off real quick.
Trisha's just gonna look at Isadora and just say allergen free. That's what you guys call it here.
That's the joke that they claimed. I didn't start it, but yes, it's how they identify themselves.
It's actually pretty clever.
And at this point, they slide up they give you two menus to pass around the table, and it's just one sided. Looks like they currently have available. They have it's the way it's listed is it says that there is corporate, there is competent singer, there is and then there's also construction.
I don't get it. Trisha's just gonna kind of look at both of the other two and just be like, I don't.
Well,
Is this an indication of where the blood came sorry. Where our menu came from?
Some of us have a very particular palate, so it helps to have something to choose from.
Interesting. Well, she's gonna kind of just slide it away, the menu away from herself, and just like, I'm good for the moment, thank you. Mhm.
And she says, "Well, suit yourself." And
This
she looks to Trudy and she says, "So about that little thing that you had inquired, how has that worked out?"
Um, which which
When
which thing
Trudy
are you
when
referring to?
Trudy and Isadora met, you were asking her about Nodist lore, if I remember correctly.
Yes, okay. Just trying to remember what the particular question
Mm.
was that well, all has uh, proceeded in the optimal direction.
So I hear our and she looks to, Agaya and she says, "I heard our little Agaya has left the Sabbat." And she, kind of, cringed a little bit. And Isadora says, "No, no, it's a personal choice. And if that is what you have desired, then that is quite all right. And I'm certain that your patron, Trudy here, is positively aglow with your choice." And so Agaya kind of, without saying anything, looks to Trudy.
Uh, since Miss Isadora is a little more experienced with uh, the other side of politics, I asked her about particular difficulties that you might have that I should be sensitive to.
So she's all, "Oh, like uh, people are friends, not food."
Such like,
Okay. Am I still doing okay?
you're doing swimmingly.
Okay, because I don't even see Trish as food. Trish is just another vampire.
better damn well not see me as food.
Um, I'm not sure that that was the issue before, but I'm glad to hear it.
Well, because I don't think she's anarch, which would mean
Dear
she's like,
Lord, I am standing right here.
You know, it didn't occur to me to ask. But since she's seems a bit of a independent type, and she appeared here in this city, and to my knowledge, nobody's been chasing after her. That's usually a pretty good sign.
so Agaya turns and looks at Trish. She says, "So has anybody been chasing you?"
Not in particular at the moment.
So she looks back at Trudy. At that point, she says, "So she could be Camarilla or Anarch."
Well, I just meant she hasn't brought us any trouble yet.
Oh, okay. Oh, I took that the wrong way because I thought you were meaning that we can eat the Camarilla.
What?
That's
Trish kind of like shouts that out loud.
And of course, and Isadora is like, "Ooh," kind of snickers.
that's not what I was saying.
But they're the bad guys, though, right?
They are certainly not welcome here.
Well, I know
But-
that. I don't have to get along with them too, do I?
How about you make it simple? Don't pick fights with people. There you go.
I don't go pick fights with people. They pick fights because of what they choose. Camarilla is bad.
I know, but if you're trying to pick who's good, who's bad in a world where everybody looks pretty much the same, it's easier just to say, don't pick fights with anybody.
But you don't look anything like me.
Okay, that was a general term. I was speaking generally and not like specifically.
Ugh. I'm no good with this political talk. I'm gonna go dance.
All right, Dumpling.
I'll be back. So she like gets up and walks out to go mingle in the crowd.
I have a question. Does obfuscate work like true polymorph?
Obfuscate.
Like, she
Obfuscate
like-
works well against people so long as, but it doesn't work against technology. So, like, if somebody's looking in a camera or taking a picture of you or something like that, they see you as what you really are.
Okay, so it's not like true polymorph. Okay, so
Yeah.
so Gaia would still can people still like feel her wings if she brushes up against them?
Yeah, there are ways that could get broken. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Okay. All right then. Thank you.
No problem.
My apologies. She's had a very interesting upbringing, and we're still becoming more aligned on certain behaviors that are more conducive to anarch life.
She says, Trish, just what do you know about the Tremere? It's okay.
Honestly,
if you don't
not
know
very much.
anything.
Not very much.
She says, Trudy, why don't you explain Agaya's particulars since you know her a little bit better?
Well, Agaya started out essentially a slave to the Tremere, which, if you're not familiar with them, magic users, they tend to have a very strict and closed clan, and they created the gargoyle bloodline to be servants and guards. And Miss Agaya was one of these, was rescued by a Sabbat pack and lived with them for some years before having the opportunity to choose something different for herself.
This about rescued her?
it was a raid, as I understand.
So they didn't really rescue her, they just took her.
She was a very useful target. Um, she's exceptionally powerful in a fight, and my understanding is through the blood bonds of the Sabbat, she felt as though they were her family, but in essence, they were treating her about the same way.
She went from slave from one to slave to the other. Interesting.
So she has a few hot button issues, and I'm afraid that Tremere is one of them, and
Well,
by extension, the Camarilla.
it's understandable. Well, she's doing quite well then.
It's been a long road, but I'm very proud of her.
And getting over the initial shock. She's kind of cute.
She really is. Very excitable.
She's a bit like a puppy. Like I grew up with a dog that was probably the sweetest thing on the earth, and she would get excitable like that, like the rushing in and the jumping on and this loud squealing until she'd finally calm down, and was pretty much the best thing I ever had.
Oh dear. Oh, she is quite endearing.
Don't tell her I said that, please. I don't want her to think it was an insult, as it was not.
So, she does beg the question, Miss Trish. I don't want to put you on the spot, but what is your political affiliation?
I
I get
don't.
it's complicated.
I actively choose not to get involved. It's one of the reasons why I have chosen a fairly nomadic lifestyle.
Hmm.
There's enough things that have happened in the past that just I washed my hands from all of it. So,
Do you not miss companionship?
occasionally, I worry about what being alone is doing to me. But then I think about what being with other people did to me, and it normally seems to be like a better choice.
Hmm. Sorry to hear that you've had a difficult time. It's been my experience that being on your own allows you to slip through some difficulties more easily, but at the same time, other difficulties that are not slip-awayable are rather harder to tackle by yourself.
Yeah. I just the after everything that went down with me being embraced and how all of that happened, it the first few years of life as a kindred was not kind to me or to the people that I loved. And instead of trying to figure out really how to cope in the world, I was left on my own and sheltered, and then chose to truly be on my own. I think it's more lonely to be alone in a sea full of people than it is to be alone by yourself.
Fair enough.
So yeah, I just stay out of it most of the time. There's very rare opportunities that I even have to be a part of the politics of our world.
They are complex.
That's a word for it. Yeah.
Well, it's a strongly held policy of mine to allow folks to decide their own fate. And so I won't try and push you one way or the other. But the nice thing about an anarch city is that no one's going to push you into making that decision.
Yeah. I will say one thing though. Um, I do work quite diligently to stay away from most members, if not all, of the Sabbat.
That we have in common.
And I have a feeling that you and I will be fast friends as long as I stay. That's still up in the air.
Trish, with that comment, I would like you to roll your perception, which is a 3, and your alertness, which is a 2. Difficulty 6.
Okay. 2 successes.
Okay. So, in that kind of lull in the conversation at that point, as you're saying, quote unquote, as long as I stay, you kind of glance out across the crowd of people that are here. And you can see, at one point, Agaya very clearly making a dork of herself as she's, jumping up and down and, flashing the metal sign and woo sort of thing, I just living it up on the dance floor. And as your eyes kind of just passively scan around, you end up seeing a familiar face in that crowd staring right at you. And it's Jeremy's
Who
face.
is it?
It's Jeremy's face.
Sorry.
You're fine.
Really? You had to bring this in this early?
And just as you caught his face looking right at you, kind of snickering, as somebody passes by, he's gone.
All right. At the table, you'd see that Trish has completely frozen in place and is just staring right across.
Did I say something untoward?
No, you're fine. I think it's time to leave.
All
And
right.
just kind of turn around and start walking towards the door.
Trudy will look at Isadora in confusion.
Yeah, she looks a little confused as well. She says, "Where exactly are you going?"
I am leaving. So if you would like to come with me, you are more than welcome. But one way or the other, I'm getting the hell out of this place.
Is it the music? I know it's definitely an acquired taste.
Well, let's just say I don't exactly like the company, and it's not you. And she's got an eye on a swivel, head on a swivel right now.
Okay. And with that comment, we'll go ahead and pause here for the day. I was getting ready to say evening. I'm used to playing, obviously, at night. Giving us about 2:45 at this point for gaming. So I had a lot of fun. Just as an update to the folks who are watching, we will be off for next week. So there's not going to be any vampire or the superhero game, as we are going to be, some of us will be out of town. So the next game is actually going to be Ashland Blood Ties. So that's going to be on the 22nd. So if you would like to tune in there, tune in then. We're going to pick up literally right where we left off with this as Knives and Ben are digging into investigation, and Damaris is, digging more into her book.
Research.
Yep. And we hopefully find out just what the heck has spooked Trish so quickly.
Dun,
So,
dun, dun.
yeah, thank you everybody who are tuned in and watched. Of course, the video will be automatically available on demand from Twitch. We'll have it uploaded to YouTube soon. And we hope to see you guys again soon. Yeah, Davy Jones, thanks for stopping by, dude. Have a good one.
Bye.
Goodbye. End the stream there.